Scott, you can come over here now.
All right. Right,
Yes, we're recording now.
call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7:03 PM. And I will seat Goodrich as a full member. Mr. Brady, would you read the call?
Town of Groton, notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, August 1, 2023, at 7 PM at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HCC 23-40, 14 Fort Rachel Place, Brad Horn, applicant owner, metal roof, pin number 261806392165. HCC 23-41, 7 Water Street, Tim Owens, applicant owner, exterior awnings, pin number 261918307563. HCC 23-0001, 132 Cliff Street, Peter Springsteel, applicant, Russell Brace, owner, 2-story addition, pin number 261914324910. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website, meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 25th day of July, 2023, at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
Great. I will move to waive the hearing procedures. If anyone wants to read them, they're on the yellow page over there. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Ferguson, aye.
Brady, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, we'll also make a motion. What is it, new business? Old business.
Sorry,
just
old business.
Move old business up in the agenda.
A second.
All in favor?
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
Okay, do you want to come up? Yeah. Do you want to do yours now? So the reason I asked to move it up is because I need to get everyone else's opinion on it, but I think before you open anything up, I think it's something that has to go through as an application. So I just wanted to make sure everyone else is okay with it. So can you just tell them what you'd like to do?
Just for the record, your name and address, please.
Anna
Okay.
Triano, 148 High Street, Mystic.
So just tell us what you were planning to do.
Um,
You got a previous approval.
I do. I have a certificate of appropriateness from 2022 for an accessory cottage that I'm building, 825 square feet in my backyard. I originally wanted it to be covered in stone, and then I found out how expensive it was, and I'm changing it to cedar shingles with bleaching oil. And I have the actual example from, I've already signed with Hawkins Homes as a builder. And that is going to be the exterior now. And here's the roof machine sample, which is like a tudor gray on the cottage, which matches my house on the same lot.
And I think the issue here is that, we have approved minor modifications on an administrative basis. But I think my feeling is that you're changing from an entire stone exterior to a wood shingle.
It's not
exterior.
anything, it's not even built yet.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
But it's a sort of a major change
Okay,
for us to administratively approve on. I think you probably have to file for a modification. That's my.
Yeah, which is what I was gonna say, but I wasn't sure. I think you just need to fill the application out so it can be noticed and then
Oh.
come back.
all right. I went to the desk earlier today and they said, just go.
If it was a minor change, you could do it. I think because it's, like Todd said, a pretty significant change to the exterior. It just needs to be noticed. So I just wanted you to do it now, so you have to set the goal.
Yeah,
Okay,
and we wanted the opinion of the commission, just in case it was going to be something. So it's ultimately their decision. So that's why we asked you to come, just in case
okay.
something. But
In other words, if one of your neighbors knows that you were going to build this cottage and they saw your early application, they saw you're going to clad the whole thing in stone, and then suddenly you build it and it's clad in shingles, they would want to have been notified that was going to happen. We do it administratively because we consider it minor, then there would be no notice. So I think prudence would dictate that we go through a more formal modification.
So what does that mean? with.
That means you have to fill out a new application requesting a modification to your existing certificate of appropriateness. And that's. And then submit whatever it is you have to submit to show what you're changing. Now, you only have samples of these. So I guess what you'd have to do is you have to say, I want to change my siding from stone to whichever sample you've selected. And I want my roof to change to, and just give the spec on the roof, timberline,
Yeah,
HD,
it's the
whatever.
same.
And give, oh, that's the same, that's, all right, so we don't care about that.
Okay,
So that was part of that application.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's focused on the stone side.
So just you basically just want to say, I'm gonna clad it in wood shingles, and this is what I'm gonna use, this is the color, and then you'll have to come back. But you want to get that application in by no later than Thursday
Thursday.
morning around.
If you want to make the next meeting.
okay.
John, do you agree?
I completely agree. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for coming.
No, that's what I
We
wanted you
moved
to
you to the front so you could leave.
get it, yeah. Okay, so back to public hearings. HTC 23-3815 Water Street. Are they here?
Not here.
No, it's right, HTC 23-3937 Water Street. Laura Cronin home. Okay, skip that one. HTC 23-40 Fort Rachel Place, 14 Fort Rachel Place, Brad Horn.
Is, are the attendees, is that a zero?
HTC 23-41 7 Water Street, Tim Owens. Not here either. Wow.
Great.
Peter, come on up.
Would you guys mind just leaving?
HCC 23-001.
Yeah.
001. What is that?
Peter Springfield Architects, 105 Star Street, Mystic. Here tonight representing Russ and Amy Grace, Russ is here. And this property is 132 district. 132 district. What we're proposing here is an addition to the existing dwelling. And on the site plan here, you can see our corner lot, Fifth Street, the whole thing put together here. The house is not between setbacks, so it's in. And, this hatched area is the area where we're proposing to do an addition. And note that there's already an existing one-story structure there in the house, the garage, and you can see it in this dash. Red lines. And this is black for those people. And they were proposing a deck on the rear of the garage as well. There is some changes to the stone wall proposed. There's a stone wall that goes down. And right now it's got a 2 bay wide curb cut from the existing garage. And we're gonna remove that pavement and that curb cut. And put a new curb cut, same with the car curb cut further down. Into the garage on the side rather than the front. So these are the floor plans that show layout of the proposing here. This is Lane, Cliff Street is over here. See around in this direction around the street. And then there's living space, so the second story to this addition that is the that contains living space that ties into the deck on there.
Peter, do you mind getting closer to the microphone? You're cutting in and out. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Oh, crystal clear, much better.
It's hard to hear him across the table even.
These renderings show the proposed addition. 2 stories here. There's the side load garage with a little canopy over the doors. You can see on the base, there's some vertical board siding on the basement area right now. We're going to continue that theme around the new addition to give some to tone it down in terms of height and give it a base. And you can see it as well in this. This is from Cliff Lane. Looking at now what is the front facade on Cliff Lane. I think I've got some existing conditions photos here that'll show you the house.
I'm trying to picture which house. Were you just here for? No, for Rensburg? What, wasn't Rensburg here? What's that? Yeah,
It's that same house?
Yeah.
We were here the same night.
yeah.
So these are photos of the existing house. This is the piece that we're taking down. This was probably added on in the 40s, I'm guessing.
But you're gonna take the whole garage off.
Yeah. So those are all existing conditions. These are existing conditions, elevations as well. There's that garage. These are existing conditions. There's the garage from the backyard. Nothing's changing on the front. So that's again the formal front of the house, nothing changing there. In this view from the back of the house, you can see the addition right here. That's the deck addition. And on this drawing, you're going to see Cliff Lane elevation right here. This being the addition, the red line indicates the old garage. I've listed all my materials here. Essentially, we're going to be matching a lot of what's there, although we're going to be using some composite materials rather than wood materials that are on the house. The architectural composition sheets will match those. Clapboard siding will be fibrous cement painted. Presently, there's blue on the main house. But we'll match the color and so it should be a good match. All the trim, we're going to use painted PVC, which also will it's on just part of the house. Our windows, simulated divided light, Marvin Elevate, which is commonly used in the vinyl clad wood. And again, the simulated divided lights, 6/6, the match up with this house. These windows are smaller than those. These are utilitarian spaces that they're serving. And then we got some bigger ones down in the garage. The vertical board siding, probably do that PVC as well. Painted to match up with the existing board siding. And on the deck, we probably have, or we will have, PK decking and Intex vinyl railing system, which is the matte sort of finished vinyl rather than the glossy finish on the vinyl. Garage doors will be fiberglass or metal. That will be this carriage house.
The vertical siding, what is that vertical siding look like? I mean, no, not good to go.
Not trying to be a wise guy. You can see a little bit right there.
We're born back.
I think it's tongue in the groove V joint. Is that it? I think it's 6 inch.
6 inches tongue and do just.
You join it now.
I think it was fine. My only question is, since as long as I can work on those line sets, is there any way to hide them or are they gonna install them? If you're gonna do all this, is there any way to? I know. There's no way of speeding up to that corner or anything. There's a lot of pushback.
So there's line sets here on this corner, I think.
Mine sits on the front of that.
No, they're here. There's one here, one there.
Oh, and that-
No. No, I wouldn't have.
So if you were point on, there would be another unit in that.
You're not gonna slap that one.
Probably be under the back. You can see it. Line sets from indoors. Get to them.
Yeah.
I know we pushed back on vinyl fences and vinyl.
It's the rail, it's that.
Yeah, that's the stuff we use. It doesn't. It's like that. Okay, see, it doesn't really look. I just. It's not like. That's what I was talking.
You'll see some of that from.
Actually,
Most distant here.
I think it's the nicest. We built.
I don't have one on the front.
Yeah, but it's not gonna look that different than that.
Front of the house.
I just started vinyl and some bells.
Those windows are also on the wrap there. But you have a problem with that? Okay, you're in the clear, I guess.
No,
Okay.
any comments?
Any comments, Goodrich?
Nope.
Want these drawings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Just for the sake of, if anyone shows up, if you want to jump around.
It does make it very difficult.
Yeah. I'm just thinking since they're all road shows, if we just jump to rehabs. And then we're back to consideration.
In case someone does come back.
You want to just say. Okay. So close the public hearings. And move on to consideration. Public hearings. What was that? I thought it was. No, it's. Yeah. So HDC 23-38, this is 15 Walker Street.
I make a motion that we vote on it. It timed out for 65 days. The gentleman presented last time and looking at the material, there's no change to the presentation. So I make a motion that we actually vote on it.
During the public hearing, it was continued. And he requested a continuance in writing because he couldn't make it tonight.
Oh, you didn't bring that up.
That's why we have it on here as folded, continued. But yes, he did request because he couldn't be here.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually on here. Sorry.
Okay, I must have missed it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue.
So we don't make a motion.
Yeah, HTC 23-39, 37 Water Street. This is the Marina thing.
Yeah.
I suppose to make it quicker, because you continued those, you don't, there's nothing to consider for consideration.
We didn't continue, just skip them.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's skip this.
but they're still open then, so you'd have to close it to a consideration of it.
We'll just leave them open. Right? Not
Yeah,
continue.
don't we make a motion to continue?
You can make a motion to continue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I make a motion to continue.
Okay,
HTC
very good.
23-39.
Second,
All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, HTC 23-44 Rachel Place, 14 Rachel Place. Brad Horn, I'll make a motion to continue.
Second,
All in
Brady.
favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
HCC 23-41 7 Water Street. Again, we'll make a motion to continue.
Second, Brady,
All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
HCC 23-001 132. I'll make a motion.
It's 0001. We're going to new numbers now that we have the new online system. Yes, it's going to be slightly different.
You made the motion.
Yeah.
Second, Brady,
All in favor?
the discussion.
No discussion. Looks good.
I think it looks great.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, 132 Cliff Street. If you name it HTC 23-001, isn't it the same as 13-01?
That's why it's 0001. In the computer, it's different because it can have.
So Tom, do I need, this is my approval form now?
Right. Because it's going to be an online, your signature is going to be
Okay,
online.
so do I have to write a number in on this though, or what approval number it is for
No, just keep it in the folder and
and you'll take care of it. Great, paperwork reduction,
Yes, exactly.
All right, moving on to pre-ups. Chris, you want to call? I'm assuming, is that what you're?
Are you here for a pre-app or are you here just to watch?
Chris Vernot, Mercer Birchie Vernot Architects, Mystic. Here representing Dan, Jennifer Grace, 17 Rattle Street for a pre-app. This is specifically in regards to the accessory dwelling unit that's at the back of the property on Pearl Street. And we have a certificate of appropriateness. And which one is shown? Okay. Yeah, it's sort of just a compare and contrast, I guess.
Tom, you can't make those images any bigger on that screen.
I mean, I can zoom in, but then you see less of it. So that's why I'm asking to.
Take John off.
Take John and like shrink him or something. He's hogging the screen.
It's not gonna change how you see it.
Yeah.
Don't we usually see a bigger image of the drawing that's displayed?
It's a.
Yeah.
John, if you can't see anything, just let us know. You're the only one.
Dan Grace, is that your guy?
Yeah. Left hand to top.
Okay, so this here, this is the accessory dwelling unit, which we have a certificate of appropriateness that was issued in March of 22. And at that time, the town regulations for accessory dwelling units were 800 square feet. The town has since adopted 1,000 square feet, so we're back to some permission to add an additional 200 square feet to the dwelling unit. And primarily, the front remains the same, so this is the approved. The front stays the same, we haven't made any changes. We did take the body of the house and make it a foot wider. As part of that 200 square feet we're adding to the project, so effectively, the ridge line got taller by 6 inches. And so all the square footage was put out in back of the house. And you really don't see it from the view lines from the street. If you want to point out one thing that's changed a little bit, is we used to have a deck on the south side here. And it was flush with the side of the house, because we made the back of it a little bit wider. The deck is now going to be free out, so out there, so that's a little more. In the public view. So rear of the house, this basically got longer on the back here. We did make it a little bit wider, so this ridge now flushes up with the main ridge of the house.
But all you can see is that 1 foot.
All you can see really is the deck that protrudes out past the house. We have a view in here of what it looks like from the.
But I mean, and the 1 foot growth. You're saying it grew like by a foot.
Oh, right, the front of it grew a foot, so the depth of the house is grew a foot, so the only change we really see from that is. The ridge got a little taller by 6 inches.
Why don't we just do this modification? I think this is nothing.
Is that the only change you made?
We also would like to ask about upgrading the siding trim. Previously, we were approved for floral trim painted. Hardy board siding, cement board siding painted, and upgrade all to wood, painted wood.
Don't care about that.
It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade.
John, what do you think?
So personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine. That being said, I think this project's been pretty high profile in the community. So I think just out of respect to the community, it should go to a hearing, but personally, I got no problems with it.
My only thought of why no is because it was painted floral and hardy. Hardy, and now we're just going to paint it solid gold and cedar clapboard. Most people, including myself, would probably have a tough time.
I agree, and I don't think anybody's going to notice the foot difference either. Like I said, if any other time I'd vote yes, just given how high profile this has been in the community, I think we just owe it to the community to let it go to a hearing. But I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'd vote yes on it. I don't have a problem with it.
And I think it's a modification and no one's even gonna know happened. You're not gonna see that the house is wider or longer. It's getting deeper.
depth.
towards-
It's not
towards the
even, it's not even
backyard.
wider
Not
from the street, right, it's deeper, so.
Yeah, Mr. Grace out his back window will maybe be able to see what it is, but
Well-
maybe he can't even see it.
Right.
No, and I agree with your comments. That's just my feeling.
I guess it's, you're asking. You can do it tonight with modification, it sounds like, or do you want to make sure that all working with it? Come back.
Dan, are you on the line? Do you want to chime in on that?
Unmute yourself.
I don't think it's major numbers with that, I think it's like you said, it's improvement.
I can hear, John,
We hear you now.
So my question is, do you want to do it tonight as a modification? Because I think it's minor enough that we can approve it, and it seems like everyone's fine with approving it as a modification, or would you rather put it through as a public application, just considering what all occurred and let the public be notified of it, and then come back and we can vote on it as a hearing?
Would this vote happen 2 weeks from now? Would that screw up?
Dan, can you hear that?
I think you're muted again, Dan. I think he's muted.
Oh, we lost him.
I don't think it's gonna be a big deal either way. I'd hate to someone say like,
Well, what would be the repercussion of somebody coming? Fine,
nothing, people squawking.
we have a certificate of appropriateness with a modification.
being a good neighbor. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. So I don't know. I wouldn't. I think it's gonna look better.
Yeah. I think aesthetically it does look better. It's more in keeping with the sort of history of the inside of the trim. Aesthetically, size wise, scale wise, you know, 6 inch. I would vote for a modification to my, vote for that.
Do you have Dan's phone number?
Make sure he's okay with that. Wait, you might have back. Yeah, let me go pump up.
I think Dan's back
Dan-
on.
Dan, you're
Yeah,
back.
I'm back on. I don't know what happened. I got booted somehow. Well, what was the specific question? I can hear John perfectly. The stuff that's coming from the inside the room is a little bit
Can you
soft.
hear-
I'm-
Can you hear me?
Can you hear it?
So Mr. Grace, what we were talking about is we all agree that the modification looks, I think, good, if not better than the original. My only concern was given how high profile this project was, let it go to public hearing so the neighbors could weigh in. I mean, I'll go on the record right now saying I'll vote to approve it. I think it's well done. But I just think in the interest of the history of the project, the neighbors should get a chance to weigh in. And what they're asking is what you felt. Did you want to wait 2 weeks for a hearing, or did you want to have a vote on it as a modification?
No. I mean, I'll defer to the commission. But if it's a 2-week wait and you guys feel that's more appropriate, then I'm perfectly fine with that.
No, we're fine voting on it. So I just,
I mean, I'll agree with, if there's not a rush for 2 weeks, I know you guys see it as a modification, but just from a PR point of view for everybody. I mean, this gentleman's been through enough. I won't say enough, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I probably don't want to be in a situation where people think I'm trying to like slip something else through or something without telling anyone.
And we know you're not doing that, Mr.
Yeah,
Grace.
correct.
We know you're not doing that, but I agree.
Yeah,
That's my
right.
position, is I would hate for anyone to misconstrue you're following the process properly and still misconstrue it. So that's the reason I would suggest.
Sure.
we're all fine with the change though, so it's just a matter of.
It's just a matter of two.
We'll file this by Thursday. We'll do public hearing.
All right. And it's a new system now. It's online, so you can submit online.
All digital.
All digital. Yeah, you can do it from your home.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Grace.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Grace.
Can I ask you guys about a separate project, separate issue? This is 37 Water Street across from EPI.
Yeah.
Last time you just here, I was here for preliminary a couple weeks ago. We're gonna be. Building with the, you're putting windows.
Not only raising the building up.
Raising the building, this foundation system. We're gonna put in an application for that. Thursday this week.
I'm sorry, can you speak into the microphone? I can't hear you.
Yep, sorry.
That's all right.
But there's been an issue about security on marina piers and adding gates to the head of the pier. And does that gate fall under review? Purview? Okay, so we should make sure we have that in the application as well.
Yeah, and it's become an issue for us too. We're right next door. People going out, getting on boarding boats in the middle of the night, whether people sleeping on them. We talked about gates too, but gates are much tougher.
Okay,
Please.
yeah, we'll have that. Okay, that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public communications. I have none. Approval of the minutes.
Public communications.
I have none.
Do you want to wait for Ted on the approval of the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right. So I'll second. All 3 minutes?
All three
Uh,
sets.
Yep. The two and the special, yep.
All right, Goodman will second, all in favor,
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Yeah. We did old business, we mean new business?
I don't have a formal enforcement report. I'm gonna try and just do this once a month, but just some updates. Chelsea Groton Bank got to me. I'm meeting them on site on Thursday for a meeting, so they can go over that, know what to submit for the kiosks. And 21 Gravel Street, the fence is gonna come in for modification.
Okay.
So I met him on site. It was too tall. He lowered it a bit. It's still not
It's 21
6
gravel.
feet. The cedar fence in the backyard.
The infamous.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it couldn't quite meet the height. So he's applied for a formal application. So it's advertised. It's gonna be
Okay.
posted on site so you can review it in the open.
Any luck with that person who's? You know what, I mean, you've reached out to 3 possible addresses.
The Pearl Street fence, I haven't heard back yet and I haven't gotten a return letter.
Anything on the High Street?
No response yet. That's why I'm only gonna do it once a month because it usually takes.
Yeah,
that
that's
much
right.
time.
I was just.
Yeah.
John,
Yep.
anything?
Nope.
Wow.
And it's a record meeting. The one I stayed home for is a record fast meeting.
That's because you didn't show up.
I won't make that mistake again, Todd.
All right. Adjourned.
All right.